production.
I've encountered some technical issue, but let me see if it can be solved.
Okay, all right, okay.
We don't want to miss anything. Okay, we are live now on YouTube. So here is an Anjali, and Anjali corrects me. Her name is Anjali.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
yeah. So we are going to have a wonderful time. We just want to be very brief with our meeting today. We just want to go straight to the point. She's from a past, I think 2 days. Is it 2 days ago that you filed? You
I
exited your
completed. I completed yesterday. That is 12th.
And
12th of
today,
October. 12th of October. Yes.
this 13th of October. So and she also has a very powerful discoveries about minerals and vitamins that she wants to share with us, so that we don't repeat ourselves so much, because we have done this. Should be the third time you're doing the meeting with Anjali. The 9 days, this one that she did with breaks, like she did 4 days. I remember it was 4-5 days. Then the rest of the days she was taking water later in the evening. What we have already discussed in the earlier meetings, we are not going to bring them today, but we are going to make sure that we are so specific on the new things that are coming up. So welcome, Anjali, and feel free.
Well, namaste to all our viewers. So just a little brief, because even last year in 2023, I practiced dry fasting during the Indian festival of Navratri. But this year was exceptionally hot. So I could not practice my 9-day dry fast during the March festival of Navratri. And we had a very heavy and prolonged monsoon. And the weather was still very hot and humid. But I decided to go ahead with my cascade dry fast. Now, let me just briefly explain what a cascade dry fast is. It means that I did not fast continuously or dry fast continuously for 9 days, but I took short breaks of a few hours in between. And I took water, I took lemon water, and then because I was just feeling a little bit low in energy, I also took, apple, beetroot, and carrot juice. That was it. And after, let's say, 5, 6, or sometimes 7 hours gap between ending one stretch of the dry fast and beginning the other stretch, the other leg. So I felt hydrated and I felt energetic enough to go on. Because it's pointless to just torture your body just in the name of, dry fasting or something. I don't have to prove anything to anyone. I'm doing dry fasting for my own good health, and I'm not suffering from any major disease. So this was just to reset my body. This was just to rejuvenate my body. And the most thing, as many gurus of dry fasting have pointed out, that when you dry fast for 72 hours or more, your body goes into a state of autophagy, which means your body starts eating up the weak and the sick cells, and then new tissue, new cells are produced by the body itself. And that's something that happens naturally. So that was my experience. And because it was so hot, I did it in little segments of 48 hours. After 48 hours, I would hydrate myself a little bit, have maybe a glass of lemon water, and maybe a glass of carrot, apple, and beetroot juice. And because I was doing a lot of talking, I was doing some work on the computer, some work on the mobile, so I needed energy for that. And when it's very hot and humid, you lose energy rapidly. Plus, I live in a very big city and a lot of construction work is going on in my city. There's a lot of pollution. The air quality is not good. I would have loved to go to the seaside or go to the mountains for a dry fast, but somehow I couldn't manage it this time. Maybe in the near future, I will go to the mountains or I will go to the seaside and practice a cascade dry fast. The other thing that I would like to point out is I would like to show some natural herbal things that I used to, rehydrate myself. And one of these things, the white pumpkin, which I had mentioned in one of my previous interviews with you, is now growing in my own garden. And I'll just hold it up on the screen for everyone to see. And voila, here is a big white pumpkin. It's 6 kgs. Can you see it? I think everybody, it's 6 kgs. It's pretty heavy. So this is a white pumpkin. And its juice is very good. It grows easily in the tropical climate of India. And when you extract the juice from this white pumpkin, it's got a lot of minerals, it's got a lot of vitamins, it really rehydrates your body. And I want to show some other things also which I used. So here on a plate, I have this, this turmeric. Can everybody see it? This is raw turmeric. So I peeled it, I kind of sliced it up. Here is raw ginger, a little piece of raw ginger, which I washed, peeled, and, sliced it up. And here is Indian gooseberry. Can you see it? These little green berries, they have a seed inside. It's called amla or Indian gooseberry. So I used these 3 natural herbal things also. And with the juice of these 4 natural, you may say, fruits and herbs, I had a very refreshing drink. So, and especially I would recommend this raw turmeric. I don't know whether you have it in Kenya or not. In the Western countries, I don't know if it's available in London or New York or not, but it is available in India at this time of the year. And you just need a little, this is a very big piece. So just about like 1/3 of it, you slice it up, you chop it into little pieces, and then you extract the juice in a juicing machine. So this is very good. Of course, the yellow is there, but this, when you are making a fresh juice, I would say try and use the turmeric, try and use the ginger. Ginger, I think so, it's available in Western countries. It's also available in Kenya. And this is available only in India. I don't think so London or New York or Nairobi would be having this. And this also is only available during the winter months. You cannot get the fresh fruit all 12 months of the year.
What is that? Is that guava?
That is an Indian gooseberry. Indian gooseberry, it grows on a huge big tree. It's very sour. It's very rich in vitamin C. So this is my natural source of vitamin C. Instead of popping, it can be preserved also. You can make a pickle out of it and you can preserve it and then eat it all 12 months of the year. But when you're using it in a juice, you have got to get the fresh fruit and then, slice it up and remove the pip and then put it through a juicing machine. So these are unique to India, which are unique to India. These fruits are unique to India. And I would also like to show another thing on the screen, which I am personally growing in my own herbal garden. And I have this little plant here with me. Can you see it? This is Sabha snake grass. This is a plant called Sabha snake grass in English. And in Hindi, the Indian language Hindi, it is called Vishlata. And I'm growing it on a small scale in my own herbal garden. Of course, this is just This is just for a sample. This is being grown in a pot. You can see the pot. And I plug the leaves and I, clean the leaves and I dry them. And actually I'm selling them. I'm selling the dried leaves as a herbal tea on Amazon in my country and on a few other websites. So I am growing a few of these things because I do have a small herbal garden and I take a great personal interest in maintaining my herbal garden. It's difficult for people who are living in apartment buildings to grow all these things, but those people who are living in a villa or a cottage or a bungalow type of a house, and they have a little piece of land or a little garden, they can do this. So I'm using all these things, and of course there are many more herbs. I could not show everything on the screen to the audience. So what about when these natural things are not available either in my garden or in the local market? What do I do? My body still needs vitamins. My body still needs minerals. And then, of course, I have to fall back upon something which is available in the market ready-made. And in simple words, I have to rely on supplements. I'm not a purist, and I know that I cannot grow everything. I'm not one of those, live off grid, etc., etc. It's not possible for me right now to produce all my food, all my herbs, all my medicine, especially since I'm living in such a big city. So I would like to share with the audience some of the supplements that I have been using. We all know that healthy lipids are very essential for the smooth functioning of the human body. They are very essential for good bone and joint health. They are very essential for the brain to function properly and for other organs of the body to function properly. So I have been using like, this product. It contains little capsules, and this is a vegetarian, omega-3 capsule. It is derived from microalgae. This is not fish oil. These capsules do not contain fish oil. They contain omega-3 derived from microalgae grown in fresh alkaline ponds, and also they have been combined with a little bit of oleic acid from sunflower seeds. So this is very good. And this is a product from a Korean company. The Korean company has sought permission to sell its products in India. And the name of this Korean company is Atomy. I don't know whether you have this in Kenya or not, or maybe this company will start selling its products in Kenya. I recommend it highly, especially for vegans, the ones who won't, touch anything of animal origin. For them, this is very good. Another product that I use is, it's Hemahem. This is also by a product by this Korean company, Atomy. And here they have little sachets, 20 ml sachets. And it's a combination of the extract of 3 Korean herbs. Now, these Korean herbs grow only in the climate of Korea and Japan, I suppose, which is a cool climate. It's a temperate climate. And so these Korean herbs will not grow in the hot climate of India or Kenya. And it's a combination of, Paeonia japonica, Nidium, officinale, and something else. Japonica, Angelica japonica, or something like that. So this is very good, and it works at the mitochondrial level, and I've observed this. I initially got this product for my 85-year-old mother, who is suffering from very severe osteoarthritis, especially in the knees, which makes it very difficult for her to get up and move around and so on, carry out her daily chores. And after using this combination of 3 herbs, her condition has improved. she feels a little lighter. Her joints are functioning, especially her knees and her hips are working slightly better. So she can at least move around the house. She can at least go to the kitchen and cook her own food and serve the food, etc. And I'm a naturopathic doctor. I've also recommended this product to some of my patients who are suffering from either chronic diseases or other life-threatening diseases like cancer. And in each and every case, my patients have really benefited tremendously. And of course, we tell them to eat healthy, to eat organic food. We guide them. We give them a food plan. There's a lot of hand holding, a lot of moral support is given. And we have had very good results with these Korean herbs, and I highly recommend it. The other reason I think why these Korean products are so effective is that they are manufactured under very strict conditions. There is strict quality control. So if the raw materials or the ingredients used are of the highest quality, so when the raw materials are of the highest quality and the manufacturing is done under strict quality control, obviously the end product is or will be of a high quality. And obviously anybody using that product will benefit tremendously health-wise. And I only wish that, manufacturers of vitamins and mineral supplements or herbal supplements in countries like India and Kenya and other Asian countries and African countries would also enforce a strict regulation, strict quality controls. Because right now, of course, a lot of vitamins, a lot of brands, a lot of minerals are available in the market, but you don't know how effective it is. So you have to go through a process of trial and error. Okay, try one brand. If you see an improvement in your condition, okay, it means it's good. If it's not, you don't order it the next time, or you just throw it into the dustbin. But that's a very long process. It's a very time-consuming process. And people who are seriously ill, they don't have the luxury of experimenting on a trial and error basis. The other things I wanted to mention is that in the ancient Indian system of Ayurveda, which is the Indian herbal system of medicine, which is very ancient, more than 5,000 years old, we have always used precious metals. Precious metals, meaning gold, silver, and copper, and to a lesser extent, iron and so on, iron and zinc. Now, traditionally in the Indian system of Ayurveda, these precious metals would be reduced to a fine ash through a certain, process, through a certain process of manufacturing. And that ash was given in very minute quantities. But then the thing is, you could not micromanage the ash or the bhasma, as it's called in Sanskrit, for very elderly people, or, for babies or for little kids who may be suffering from various health issues. So Manoj Arora, who is now present in this meeting, did his own research, and he came up with the idea that why don't we present these precious metals in colloidal form and at an affordable price to the general public. So he started experimenting, and after 10 or more years of research and experimentation, he has come out with his own formula. He uses the Arden process. I'm going to show his product. I'm using it. This is like colloidal gold. You cannot see the gold particles, but it's there. And it's only like 30 or 40 parts per million, which means that the gold is present in a very, very tiny quantity, in a very micro in this product. And it's perfectly safe. It's safe for elderly people. It's safe for little kids also. It's safe for mothers who are breastfeeding their children. And I would specially recommend this for people who are battling bone and joint issues, arthritis, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, even people, battling cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's, and so on. So this is like gold magnetized in a copper vessel. So it has some little, very tiny quantity of copper. And copper is very good for healing the mitochondria, for healing the myelin sheath. So I would say, and this is being made available at a very, very affordable price. I would say that middle class people, at least in India, can afford to buy this. And one bottle, if you just take 10 ml or 1 tablespoon, 1,000 ml meals, it'll last for 100 days, which is like, 3.5 months. And the other product is like colloidal silver. Colloidal silver. Colloidal silver. Okay, not everyone needs colloidal silver. If you are facing a problem with parasites, you should take it. Because this acts against pathogens, bacteria, viruses, anything that is harming the body, either externally or inside the body, in the sinuses, in the membranes, in the gut lining. And in a few other things, it can be for cancer patients under careful, whatever regulation, we prescribe this silver water or colloidal silver. It can also be used as an external application on wounds, on burns, and so on. Because, prior to the invention or the discovery of antibiotics, silver in various forms was used in India. And in fact, I don't know about Kenya, I don't know about African countries, but in India, people who could afford to used to eat their food in silver vessels, like silver plates, or you could silver, they used to use silver spoons, silver silver things. So,
yes,
but
we use
this
silver.
this is a direct delivery. Many people say, okay, can't we eat it a gold plate and get the same benefit? Well, most people today cannot afford to buy a gold plate or to buy a golden glass. Even silver plates and silver glass is difficult for most people. So this is an easy way and an affordable way for ordinary people. Of course, you will say, okay, what about the Maharajas of India? Well, the Maharajas of India are no longer there. They're no longer ruling India. I know a few ex-Maharajas and a few ex-Maharanis, and many of them have had to sell off their gold and silver just in order to survive. Some of them have had to give away their palaces and other, so on. So I would say that this is an affordable thing for the masses. And we can give it in a smaller quantity because see, you are saying, somebody may object and say, okay, it's okay for the middle class. What about the working class? What about the labor class? Don't they get cancer? Don't they get bone disease? Yes, they do. Yes, of course they do. So in that case, we would give a smaller quantity. We would give them a smaller quantity, maybe just 100 ml or 250 ml in a smaller bottle, and maybe at rock bottom price, and then they could afford it. Of course, in the Western countries also, people are producing colloidal gold and colloidal silver, but then their prices are much, much higher than what the Indian manufacturers are doing. And Mr. Manoj Arora, who is present with us in this meeting, is manufacturing this, and I'm using it. My 85-year-old mother is using at least the gold water, and we feel happy about it because as it is in India, people have always valued gold and wearing of gold by women. See, I'm just wearing 2 gold bangles and that's all I wear. I don't dare to wear a gold chain because because of theft, robbery, daylight robbery. Somebody can just snatch the chain of my neck and, run away with it. So I don't wear much gold. The gold I have is being kept in a bank locker. So, I cannot at present afford to buy a plate of gold or a glass of gold or a bowl of gold or a spoon of gold and eat my food. So there is no way I could get these little tiny gold particles into my system. So I think so what Mr. Manoj Arora is giving us, presenting before us, it's really a boon, it's really a blessing. I would say even for working class people, even for factory workers, even for road construction laborers, we will somehow manage to get this in a small quantity. Something is better than nothing. Half a loaf of bread is better than none. If you could unmute Mr. Manoj Arora, maybe he would say a few words. Frederick, if you could just unmute.
Yeah, I can unmute. I think the function is on. So good evening, everybody, and also regards to all the online viewers. So I'll just talk before I talk about gold. See, I'm a researcher and I have developed a three-step healing program, and the naturopathy is the core of it. Connecting with the nature is the core of it. Zero chemical, zero preservative, zero additive. Problem comes when we don't get the nutrition that we are looking for, because getting the ultra pure things or non-hybrid, non-genetically modified, 100% organic, these things are becoming more and more difficult. So I'm always on the search to be able to live a disease-free life, and for that, along with naturopathy, a perfect pranayam, perfect breath work, because the wrong breath work can be very harmful, and getting what we are not getting in the food easily. I'm always looking for such supplements. Now, ma'am, you wanted me to talk about gold and silver, is it?
A little bit, yeah. I've just shown them the bottles,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So when I was doing my research on Ayurveda, metal bhasmas really inspired me, because once I started studying about them, I realized the metals play a huge role in the body's health. For example, copper is a component of the blood colloid, okay, and there has been millions of studies which correlate a particular disease with the copper deficiency, right? And gold, when you study the properties of gold, and what I wanted was, okay, the bhasmas is okay, are being used for thousands of years, but they cannot be micromanaged. So what do I do so that I can micromanage in such a way that the dosages can be made bare minimal for a very small age, or or fragile people, all they can be increased as per the health condition. So what I did, I worked on it, and I use ablation procedures, right? And then I was able to disperse the pure 150 to 250 nanoparticle size of gold and silver into the pure distilled water. And then I went on to magnetize the gold colloid in the copper vessel, such as to get the benefits of copper also. So it's been a long journey, but by the grace of God, from being declared incurable with I was told that I'll never be able to see, failing liver and deep depression in 2008-9. It has been straight 16, 17 years. I've not gone to a doctor. I've not taken a pill, and I've not taken a pathology test. Though my friends always joke, at least get a pathology test done, right? So yeah, all yours, ma'am. Yeah, please take away, ma'am.
देख लो लगा लो मेरे को नहीं सुन
So thank you, Mr. Manoj Arora, for sharing your insights. And thank you so much for taking the plunge and for setting up your lab and for making this colloidal gold and colloidal silver, or I would say colloidal gold and copper and colloidal silver, available to the general public to the mass affordable price. So one liter bottle will last
यार ये तभी फोन करते जब
days.
काम चले फोन बोलने का
Yes.
Correspond.
So please, yes. So, and that many people are afraid of metal colloids because actually the big pharma or the Western pharmaceutical industry has created a scare that metals are bad. Well, some metals are harmful, like mercury is definitely harmful, and cobalt, is harmful, and some of those other things. But what we call traditional precious metals, copper, silver, and gold, in very tiny, very minute quantities, they are needed. They are needed by the human body, and they are good. They help the healing process. They help the healing processes of the human body. And our ancient system of medicine called Ayurveda recognized this. And iron is also good, but iron you can get from other sources, from plant sources. Like you can get iron from spinach, you can get iron from a few dry fruits, like like from prunes or raisins. They're also rich in iron. And we say that it's easier to get iron because when you use a wrought iron wok or a wrought iron frying pan or a wrought iron griddle pan, you will get some amount of iron in your food. Some amount of iron will leach into your food and you can get it. So getting iron is not that much of an issue, but getting these precious metals, copper, silver, and gold is an issue. Because like I said, very few of us, even the so-called ex-Maharajas and ex-Maharanis, are not eating in gold and silver utensils any longer. So something like this is needed very badly. And not only that, the awareness needs to be spread through holding seminars, webinars, Zoom meetings, going for live events, for exhibitions, for shows, that this is not a dangerous thing. This is not a poisonous thing. This is something which the body already has. Now, when the body is depleted, then maybe you need to supplement it. You need to take it in some external form. And like I said, for this colloidal gold, just 1 tablespoon, you just take 1 tablespoon of the liquid and put it in 1 glass of water and you drink that water. It's very simple. It is tasteless, it is odorless, but you are getting that very, very tiny quantity of gold, and your body, the cells of your body, the mitochondria inside the cells of your body, utilize that to heal the tissues, heal the nerves, heal the arteries that have been under a lot of stress, that have undergone wear and tear. So I would say more power to you, and we still need to educate more and more people about this, and people will see better outcomes and faster outcomes. What would take 12 months? What would take, supposing somebody has a lot of knee pain or has a lot of back pain, they have spondylitis, or they have, they have osteoarthritis in the knees or rheumatoid arthritis. Well, maybe if they used a combination of therapies and medicines, it will take them 12 months, 18 months, 20 months to get any relief, to be able to move around. If they just included this, just 1 tablespoon a day, maybe they would see a better and faster outcome within 6 months. So they save time and they save money. Time and money, two things. And that is what we are looking for in healing. We want to shorten the time taken for healing. And we also want to reduce the cost spent on, hospital visits, doctor's fees. And also, if you're sick for 12 months or 24 months, you need to be taking some kind of a medicine or whatever, whether it's natural herbal medicine or, Western medicine or allopathic medicine. You will have to spend money. And you can't use that money for other things, for yourself or your family. So we all wish to lead a medicine-free life. We don't wish to be taking very strong pharmaceutical drugs. And actually, most of the pharmaceutical drugs produced by big pharmaceutical companies, they just suppress the system, the symptoms. They just give you temporary relief. But actually, they are destroying your liver and they're destroying your kidneys. So they directly impact these two organs of the body. And when these two organs of the body start failing, your body will start failing and your life will be cut short. So people do not realize, and the doctors do not tell them that, okay, you will have temporary relief. You will be able to move around because you will not be suffering from so much pain. But then if you continue to take these heavy pharmaceutical drugs for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, eventually it's going to impact your liver and your kidneys. And then, well, then of course, your life will be cut short. So it's entirely a personal choice, because we have all been sent on planet Earth to do something good for ourselves and for humanity. And I'm not saying that everybody will be convinced or that we can convince everybody. Even like this, I just showed it a few minutes ago. I'll show it again on the screen. This like I'm growing this sabastic grass. Very few people know about it. People mostly in Southeast Asia know about it because it's grown on a commercial scale. But we are trying to educate people, and it's my intention to meet with the President of India soon enough to tell the President of India this is very good. Farmers can grow this, and if they can't use it well, they can export it to Southeast Asia. They can earn some money. So they can earn some cash. And I've been growing this since 2012 in my own herbal garden in a very big city. And through rain or shine, winter, summer, monsoons, this plant, no diseases, no pests have attacked it, and it bounces back. And the hotter the weather, the more the leaves it produces. And even we tried it on some COVID patients. The COVID patients showed better and faster recovery. Just they made a decoction from the dried leaves or the fresh leaves. So these little things are there, and so many treasures are lying there, so many herbal treasures. This is just, of course, a few things that are growing in my garden. There are other things that are growing along the roadside, in the village especially. People don't know about it. They're not aware because the keepers of the ancient knowledge, they are very old or they have passed away. And the younger generation, they don't know much about their tradition. They don't know anything about, the vegetation that is growing around them. Even dry fasting. Dry fasting is actually a part of the ancient Indian tradition. It's nothing new. But now everything, people are surrounded by this westernized thing, McDonald's, KFC, so on. And I've observed that many people, maybe they don't enjoy a burger. They don't enjoy those little, what they call, those little potato fries or French fries, but it's a status symbol that I'm rich enough to go and I'm rich enough to take my children to McDonald's and pay their bill, 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees. So it's become a status symbol. But when people are faced with a life-threatening disease like cancer, they have to rethink their food choices. And fasting, okay, dry fasting is very tough. Even Alexander Dunning says it is very hard on the body. He doesn't advise that each and every person should do dry fasting, but those people who are facing really immense challenges, they can give it a shot. Do dry fasting just for 24 hours and see how you feel. And the next time you do, you can go for 30 hours. And then the third time you do, maybe you can go for 35 hours and then increase it. And that's how I increased my dry fasting time. I did not do it overnight, and I don't recommend that anybody try to do it. And again, the preparation before the dry fasting, you need to clean your colon, by using a water enema. You need to go on a lighter diet, and you need to detox as much as possible before starting the dry fast. That preparation itself is very important. Eat nutritious food. Eat food which is rich in minerals and vitamins. And if that kind of food is not available to you, or if you cannot grow it in your own garden or in your own backyard, then maybe take a few supplements. Educate yourself about the supplements that are available in the market, either in the open market, in the retail shops, or nowadays on the internet. Because now in a country like India, the internet has reached even the majority of villages like India. Majority of people living in the village have smartphones, and the younger generation in Indian villages has learned how to use smartphones, which means they have learned how to use the internet. So the communication is there, ideas can be spread, and we just need to stop and really examine our food choices. Are we eating this food just because we want to impress somebody X, Y, and Z, our neighbors, keep up with the Jonases? Or are we preparing some good food at home because we like it, because it's nourishing, it tastes good, we enjoy it as a family, we enjoy it with our friends? So we all have to do this introspection. So if you would like to ask me or Mr. Manoj Arora any questions, go ahead, Frederick. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't have much questions. The only thing that I was raising in my mind is like, where do you get them? If you only have a simple garden, so where do you get the rest of these other things? This particular tea that you are sharing.
Sabah snake grass. Sabah snake
Yes.
grass. See, I don't have an export license at present, so I cannot send you this tea, to Kenya and so on. But I believe because it's being grown on a commercial scale in Southeast Asia, meaning Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand, and the growers or the manufacturers in those countries are in fact exporting it to London. It's being sold in Harrods general store supermarket in London. I don't know if they would be ready to export it to Kenya, if there are any supermarkets that can carry it, or and so on. Maybe they would be. And for me, of course, the next step is to get an export license. I'd be delighted to send it to Kenya and to London and to the whole world. I need to get an export license and go through all the technical formalities. Okay. Yes, please unmute Mr. Manoj. Yes.
Frederick, what you can do, ma'am, is there a seed for this?
No, only through stem cuttings.
You
only
can't
through stem cuttings. It's got no seed. It's got no seed.
Okay. Because if it is seed, then I'm sure Amazon. I'm sure you can get the seeds from Amazon. Okay, sorry.
No. Only stem cuttings.
And
so
what
we
is the
can't
difference?
Stem cuttings. Yeah.
What's the difference with this and the wheat grass? There's one called wheat grass. Do you know it?
Yeah. Wheat grass is from, you take the wheat, the grains of wheat, the grains from which the wheat flour is made are the wheat seeds or the wheat whatever grains, and you plant them in soil and it will sprout. And when the sprouts are about, let's say, 3 to 4 inches high, you snip them off and you juice them. You extract the green juice, which is very rich in minerals and vitamins. And this is a plant. This is a proper plant with roots. It's a creeper. It can go up to, let's say, 5 to 6 meters. So you need a support for it. You need a stake or a fence or something to support it, so it can go up and up. Like Jack and the Beanstalk was going up and up and up. So even this can go 5 to 6 meters up.
And then, yeah.
So I'm sure it will do very well in Kenya, but somebody has, to send plants, living plants or, trees overseas, you need there's a very elaborate system of quarantining and so many government regulations. So it's difficult to send it.
Okay. The other thing that I wanted to ask was about these metals. How will a person know that they are deficient? How will a person know the person does not have maybe enough copper, maybe enough iron, something like that, so that and then
Okay.
when they are taking, when they are taking, also at what point should should a person stop taking, because to avoid overdose, because people fear, and that's what you try to handle. People fear this thing about being the body overtaxed with the metals. There's too much metals in people's body, so they feel like, okay, we
Toxicity.
don't
You're
want to detox.
asking about the toxicity. Okay, good, good, good. So, Mr. Manoj Arora, please answer this question.
Okay, so what program I have created, 3-step healing program. There is also a process of creating a protection wall. We don't consume silver on the daily basis, but 10 ml silver, I take it with a cup of hot water and lemon, fresh lemon. Now this silver is zero chemicals, zero additive, zero preservative. When I add lemon to the hot cup of water at 10 ml silver, it forms natural silver citrate, which is highly anti-pathogenic. 10 ml twice a week I am taking for the last 15 years. You can never get to the toxic levels, because these are the bare minimum levels to be able to create a protection wall and to be able to live the dream, the mission statement of my life, which is decent life, decent departure. Now comes to your gold and now gold and the copper. The gold product also has copper. Now the daily recommended value of copper is around 1.6 milligram. Okay. And then when we do the analysis, like it's almost like the 40% is gold and 60% is copper. So once you do the calculation, we are hardly taking 5, 7, 8% of daily recommended value of copper. Along with this, we cook our food in copper utensils on and off, brass utensils on and off. And where's my jug? And I always store my water in the copper jug all the time, right? With this thing, because we take this in such a minimal level, 10 ml per day, which is hardly 5-8% of daily recommended value, looking at 30 ppm. So we can never ever go on to the toxic state. It's not possible. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Very well answered.
Now, will this be available in Kenya, or can it be made available in Kenya, in Frederick's country?
No. See, I'm not an exporter. See, to be able to export, you need to have like a lot of requirements. So I'm not an exporter, but then I'm always open to sharing the whole technology if somebody is interested. Sharing the whole thing. I want the world, like if you do, silver citrate anti-pathogenic properties research, enter. Now, once you use the keyword research, the browser will start throwing up the research articles on top. Okay. The role of copper in the spleen metabolism, research, enter. The role of copper in the lungs metabolism, or role of copper in the healthy myelin sheath, research, enter. Right. So once you enter this keyword research, you start to see a lot of correlation. And now I just remember you were asking how one can come to know if he is deficient. One test off the head I remember is tissue analysis test, DNA test, mineral test. There are so many tests. You can go to a pathology lab and put the same question to the pathology lab. Okay, sir, good morning. I'm Frederick. I want to have an idea where is the mineral status of my body. Can I get a whole test done? And they'll do it for you, sir. Right?
Yeah. Though, sometimes just the way your body feels, then you feel like, okay, what would I be having a deficiency before you even go for the test? Because most of the time when we are fine and we feel like some little fatigue or just something that is not usual in our body, then then we feel okay.
90% of the time it will be copper. And the other thing I'll tell you, okay? When the food is balanced, when the food plan is in balance with nature, with Ayurveda, with Prakriti, the whole system remains okay. The problem comes when we start putting too many toxins into the body, right? What is to be eaten at what time of the day? Okay, what is the science behind it? So once we understand the right routine, then we can like I'm a case who was declared incurable in 2008. And when I say 17 years, no doctor, no pill, and no pathology test, it is saying a lot online, right? It is 17 years now, and not gone to a doctor, right? So we have to create a balance. For example, I really love the spices, cumin seeds, carom seeds, high source of minerals and vitamins. So how do we learn? Bio ingredient analysis of black pepper research enter. So once you put research enter, then the browser will give you the research papers from the research websites. So what are the examples of the research websites? Researchgate.com, sciencedirect.com, right? Those things.
Wow, wow, that's good. That's good information. I like it. I don't think I have any other question for now. Yeah.
So you learned something new about the role of precious metals in the human body, Frederick. That was something new for you in this meeting, right?
Not really. But I didn't always have to emphasize so much on them. I just see that it's very important now to emphasize on them so that people have this balance. And then what else do I say? Because there's this guy is where I learned all these things from. Was this guy from is from the US, and would say that they will do some mining to get all the essential minerals that the body needs. And I think they're saying there was 80 something, I don't know, 87 or 80 what. So I'd learned about it, but I did not see the value. The new thing that I'm learning today, by the way, to be very honest, is the part of the gold. I did not know that the gold maybe should be in our body. That's why I didn't know I'm getting it today. I always thought gold is outside. The rest of those other information was, that's why I was even quiet, because I think I resonate with all the things you are saying.
I'll say a few things. Copper is a part of the nutrition table. Okay.
Copper.
Copper is a part of nutrition table. It is there in the body, in the blood, enzymes and hormones. It's a part of that. It's a food for myelin sheath. Silver is excreted from the body after it has done its job of giving us the immunity and fighting with the pathogens. Gold is highly anti-inflammatory. It has a soothing effect on the nerves, and it is one of the beautiful carrier agent. It is one of the beautiful carrier agent. Okay, carrier agent means when you have to take the natural drugs, natural foods, herbs and all those things to the site to be able to fight a condition. That also is used up and excreted from the system. But copper definitely is a part of the daily food, right? It always wonders, how advanced this science was, and we are calling it a pseudoscience. Nobody is even asking the question that Alexander forces came all the way through the deserts of thousands of kilometers, and they were able to carry on with their water and food for weeks and months. So metals are awesome. Yeah, please take away, Frederick. Please take away.
I just wanted to ask you about because I saw it with one of my friend doctor talking about gray hair. When somebody develops gray hair, and that with copper deficiency, something like that, and especially with their ages they're still younger, not those very old people. These people are very little younger, and then they are developing this gray hair thing. Is it related to deficiency with copper or something?
Yes. So I'll cover it from the two angles: the modern science angle, nutrition angle, and the Ayurveda Vat Pitta angle. I'll cover it in the two ways. Okay. Now, copper and melatonin, all these are important, ingredient of the whole hair metabolism. Okay. Vitamin D plays a big role in the hair metabolism. That's the whole reason I took it off all. I take some coconut oil, I put it on my skull, and I go out in the sun. So automatically, vitamin D, which is oil soluble, right? So I have a sunlight while there is oil on my skull. It works wonderful. Okay. Second thing, copper definitely is a major part or important part of the hair metabolism. Now, from Ayurveda angle, I will not, or I rather cannot go into the detail of Vat, Pitta, and Kapha. This is not the platform. But एक second. Okay, but this is a high pith related disorder. High pith means high body metabolism, right? The high inflammatory kind of a condition. So once there is an inflammatory condition, we can always do some specific breath work. I would be reluctant in talking about breath work in the open platform because any wrong breath work can be seriously harmful. Breath work can be seriously harmful, so I'll avoid talking about the breath work. Okay, but
Please don't run away from that. You may not know how important that
I'll mention.
information is.
Okay.
Because
So
there are people who are coming to it, there are people who know a little about it, and there are people who are very well informed about this. So there's this confusion. And some people encourage that holding breath for too long, and it's like a competition. It's like you're superpower. You're like you're supporting somebody. So that part I think is extremely important.
I'll cover that.
Just handle.
I love you for this. What you just said, it is once in 6 months that I find somebody talking about this. You were talking about Kumbhak. Kumbhak is somebody is asking what to do. Anyway, okay. Kumbhak is retaining the breath inside. It increases immediately the oxygen level in the body. Number one. Number two, for this, for the, I'm getting distracted with one of the calls. Give me 1 second. I'll just cut all this. Give me 1 second. I'm just getting distracted with the calls. Okay. Yeah. So what I was saying, yeah, okay. So the breath retention, and there is one breath work called Chandrabhedi. Medical disclaimer: kindly do all kinds of breath work under professional supervision. But once we do the left nostril breathing, it immediately goes about reducing the body inflammation. It increases the healing capacity of the body. Okay, and along with the copper, one thing which will play a major role in the hair follicles metabolism and health is the healthy lipids, omega 3, right? So I love A2 Indian Vedic cow, ghee, okay, clarified butter, ghee, that has to be made a part of life. So the healthy lipids are an important part of life. So when I got this, vegetarian algae omega 3, close your eyes and consume it. Beautiful. So there is a combination of various things, and zinc plays an important role, right? There are a lot of vitamins which play an important role, a lot of minerals which play an important role. But a lot of those things you start getting if you start using the ground black pepper and spices. So put it in all perspective, the healthy lipids, doing the right breath work, left nostril breathing or Chandrabhedi, study about it. Okay, Kumbha, when you do your breath work, alternative nostril breathing, retain your breath inside for as long as is possible without straining yourself. Okay. So you cannot have a competition, okay, because I am doing it for 90 seconds, you will also retain. No, it doesn't work like that. When you're doing the breath work, we don't put any stress in the body muscles. And healthy lipids, yeah, that's it. So these are 4 5 things which play a huge role in the hair metabolism, though it is in the last of my list. So hair is in the last of my list, with the kind of clients we get to give our advice on. Yeah, Frederick.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think I don't have anything else. If people who are here want to ask a question, you can unmute and ask a question before we wrap it up. We have some few people who are here.
So anyone who wants to ask anything can please feel free to shoot any kind of question that you get in your mind. Yeah.
Mm. We have none. Then we'll be calling the day because you didn't want to put it very long. Just checking. Checking if we have any questions from YouTube. I don't see anybody asking questions. Mhm. We are good. We are good. So thank you so much, and Anjali, thank you organizing this. Also, thank you. I think Anjali just left. She might be having a problem with her with her net. She told me already. But thank you also,
It has to do with the
Aurora.
net also. Yeah.
Mhm. Thank you so much, Aurora. You are answered our question very well, and I think people are going to benefit. So, what we'll do, if people have questions, we'll give them a way of contacting you in a way that they can ask questions directly to you. And the other thing that you can do, you can also send us that those sites that you're talking about, the research sites. You can send us them so that people can also take their time and do their reading by themselves at home. You know, when somebody's convinced by reading by themselves, then it becomes very easy. Though I have one last question. I think it was popping up in my mind and then I forgot it, then it has come back. Do you have a case? Can you solve issues with what we call people who have problem with sleeping? A person who has a
Insomnia.
issue cannot sleep. Yeah, totally cannot sleep.
Okay.
Totally, not just like
So
on and off. This is a chronic one for years. Yes,
yes.
I have a particular case like that one. Mhm.
See, let us understand the legal perspective. We don't cure anything. We are not allowed to cure anything. We work on the three-step healing program. We remove the toxins from life, but for a better nervous system, for helping the body heal itself, right? The healthy lipids will play a huge role. And person who is insomniac, right, having difficulty in sleeping, very high percentage of cases he will be deficient in copper. Okay, he will
Ah,
be deficient in the different minerals, right? You get the lipid profile done. The lipid profile will tell a lot about his insomniac condition, right? He would definitely be high in LDL, VLDL, triglycerides level. So we can just check it. That's what my understanding is. So
mm,
increase healthy lipids and stop making the basic mistakes which we learned from Ayurveda. Like fruits should be eaten only in the morning. Fruits have a heating potency most of the time. They're very heavy to digest, right? They're high in sugar most of the time, not to be taken in the evening. Root vegetables should be avoided after sunset. How do we prove it from the modern science? Modern science tell us that the enzymatic secretions reduce after sunset. I'm not saying it, right? Somebody definitely, if somebody has an insomniac condition, his stomach is not working optimally. So if Ayurveda used to have minimal water with meals, the modern lab studies tell us that our liver secretes 750 ml to maybe say 1000 ml of bile in a day. So automatically, if we drink 2 to 3 glasses of water with the meals, our bile will not be able to do the requisite job of properly digesting and assimilating the food that we are eating. So how do we say Ayurveda is different and modern science is different? No, we have to correlate the two. So for insomniac, first thing that the person can do, increase some kind of a copper intake, use copper utensils, store your water in copper, and increase healthy lipids, right? Coconut
mm.
milk, okay? Seeds, right? I hope I answered you, Frederick. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we are done with today's meeting. Anjali, you went off, but we are able to answer
I had an
some
unstable
questions.
internet connection. Yes.
I understand. So we are done because this no more questions from here. Also from the YouTube, we don't have any more questions, and I think we are now done. We are now done with this meeting. If people will want to get more questions, they'll write in the groups or in YouTube, and then we'll be able to respond to them. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This
So
was a unique
thank you
meeting.
to all our
Thank you.
viewers Thank you to
Thank you, all of
Frederick.
you.
Thank you to Mr. Manoj
Thank you,
for
everybody.
explaining so many things
Thank you. Thank you.
and for bringing these precious metals to us
Thank you.
at affordable prices, really. Thank you so much.